What's up, Fire Passion Toys? How we doing today? So today I got a cool video for you guys. I'm actually going to this place called EnterTRAINment Junction. It's like a model train display though. Yeah, I mean it's really cool. And they have like a museum and a bunch of other fun stuff. So I'm gonna show like the full walkthrough of that and stuff like that. But before I get into that, I do want to show this. Finally got my mouse pad in. It's the map of Middle Earth like I was talking about. I wish it showed more of the stuff that I liked, because like way over here is like Erebor, the Lonely Mountain and stuff like that, and more stuff I knew it would be like in this area, and like the Shire and Hobbiton, like you can see it's starting this, it kind of starts right here, but it's in this area, but it's still cool though, and I love it. So, and it's big too, so all right. But that's enough of me doing this intro. If you like model trains and that type of stuff and cool stuff like that, man, you may not even like it, but you might think it's cool. So let's just go ahead and get into it. As you can see, this place is really big. I'm gonna kind of talk through some parts. As you can probably hear in the video, they have like sound effects that kind of makes the sound of whatever's going on. Like here's like a mill and a junction. You'll see a lot of this, but like the detail, just pay attention to the detail and how big this place is. And a lot of these sets, starting from where you see the camera at now, it goes all the way up the ceiling, up the wall, like to the ceiling. That's how big these sets are, and they have bridges going across, connecting everything. And the time and detail they put into some of these is insane. And it pretty much takes you through time, starting when trains first started, all the way up until like present time, so you can kind of see time progress. And also they have like a what would you call it? A scavenger hunt, I couldn't think of it. Where you try to find different stuff and you mark it off your paper if you find it. But this area right here with the water and the boats, this is probably one of my favorite areas. This little town here had so much detail, and the boats are like crazy detailed. And they have like Scooby-Doo figures and villains from the show like hidden everywhere, but they're not on the scavenger hunt. I don't know, I think whoever done it just like Scooby-Doo or something. But like the detail of like the little people building stuff and stuff like that is really cool. And they have like the bear eating a fish, and the detail is amazing. This is another cool area right here, like an old lumber yard, and they have it to where it's like they're on the side of the hill cutting the trees, and then they're lowering them all the way down the hill on the line, and then loading them onto the back of the rail cars. And it says this is the world's largest indoor train display, and honestly walking through there Seeing how long it took us to walk through there, I believe it. And that bridge out there on the left, that bridge was at least 6 feet tall. See, there's another Scooby-Doo villain right there. And if you can listen real closely as a worker, he basically wants to show us up under the set and show us how it works. You might can listen closely and hear what he says. I could barely understand him standing next to him, so good luck hearing him. But it was really cool under there to see how the trains come in there and then another one goes out automatically.
Computer does it is train to come in and stop, and then the other one go out. When it comes back, this one will go out. And that way you get a little bit of break on the engine. Because there's a lot of engine maintenance. Yeah. That's cool. Our track all brand.
And each section goes like more into the future. So you can kind of tell how it's getting more modern. And when we start getting into the bigger city parts, it just starts to get even more incredible on how big these buildings are and how you can see in every building and see people in them and stuff like that.
Like big kids over here.
And the guy that worked there was showing us this. If you zoom in under there, under that bridge, it's a hobo taking a poop.
Batmobile.
But you can barely see it under there because it's kind of dark. And there was just a Batmobile there too in the middle of the city. Just some cool details, but I would recommend this place. It's amazing if you like stuff like this. And even if you don't, you'll probably think it's cool because they literally had this stuff built up all the way to the ceilings. That's how big it was in there. You may not be able to tell from the video, but it really was huge, like all the way to the ceiling in this place. And they did have a museum part about trains and model trains and stuff like that. It was pretty cool to look at and read some of the stuff. And then, like, they had a bunch of buttons too. Like when you click them, it moves stuff, makes stuff work, or makes sounds come on. So it's kind of interactive too. And this part right here, like, all this stuff is kind of high up on the loft area. And they had some old stuff in cases and videos you could watch. They had a lot of cool stuff.
True, I guess. Yeah, it was true. I had it right, man. He's escaping from
And this is a cool part right here. They had a little jail set up, and it looks like, you know, they made the guy look like he's escaping the jail, climbing down the window. Well, this is when the city starts to get a lot bigger.
You know, I gotta zoom in on the little beetle.
I had to zoom in on the little beetle there. I love those. And it is still going. Little scrapyard. I thought that was cool. And this is another one of my favorite parts. They had it set up like a little drive-in theater. People parked and watching a movie, eating snacks and stuff like that. It's real cool. And you can actually walk upstairs and get a better view of everything you can't see from standing on the floor. And also they have a lot more upstairs still to come. But just look how big it is, and that's only one section of it. And now this part up here is my favorite part of it all. They have it, whole entire Coney Island built.
It's an amusement park.
With the roller coasters and all the little rides, it's a whole entire amusement park. And you press each button for each ride has a button, and you press it and that ride will come on. Really cool. I went by and turned every single one of them on because I wanted the whole amusement park to be operating.
In detail. Wow, mouse.
And they had like the lights on timers, so the whole place would kind of get dark almost, and it's like supposed to be like if it's dark outside, and then after a certain amount of time the lights come back on, so it's kind of like it's going through night and day, so you get more of the lighting effects and stuff like that.
Sky ride. Kids or something?
And at this point you're pretty much only halfway through the walkthrough.
Press the buttons, it makes this stuff come on. Across the river. Rockets.
As you can kind of tell, it's darker, so it's like, it's kind of like, oh, it's nighttime, you know what I'm saying, with the lights off. And looking out these windows, there's a lot more that you can't see from like walking on the floor. You can pretty much only see this from up here, on the upstairs area. And this is me getting shots of it while the lights are off, but then I come back around when the lights turn back on and get another shot of it. And they had a girl looking like she was bungee jumping off the bridge. That was one of the scavenger hunt things. And just seeing how real everything looks, it's incredible. It looks like a real world you could live in. I got a couple clips of this farmhouse right there because I loved how it looked. This is another part of the museum we got to walk through. It's kind of all together, but... And they actually have a camera on the little model train, so it lets you look at what it would look like if you was riding on it. And that little room I just showed there, that was a little workshop area where they fix the model trains and repair them and do stuff like that. But this is when we start getting into the modern day. They have skyscrapers in there, and it's, I mean, these things are huge.
Here's the deer.
At least 4 or 5 feet tall. I'd recommend walking slow though, because there's a lot to take in and there's a lot of cool details, you know, you could easily overlook. I mean, they got a birthday party going on, they got a pond, they got people fishing, they got apartment buildings.
Villains from Scooby-Doo everywhere.
They got villains from Scooby-Doo everywhere. And you'll start seeing these little, oh yeah, that girl had crazy hair, but you'll start seeing these little subway entrances in the city part, and you literally can go down under it and see it. It looks like the subway is under the ground, which is really cool. And they have the train running under there too, so it's awesome. I'm a freak for the details too, so like I seen the little June buggy and there's a guy welding right there. I love details like that. It makes it way better. They got people laying sod and doing yard work and all kind of stuff. The church and the little graveyard. It's kind of like Beetlejuice almost. You got people working and digging holes and doing all kind of stuff. They got a little chemical plant area. See, they're laying that sod there. Got a girl doing Pilates in her bedroom. They even have a trailer park. Kids swimming in the pool, clothes on the line. And apparently that right there, that's a haunted schoolhouse. They have a little car show going on here. Some more clips of the subway. A girl bending over at the car show. Had a girl doing graffiti on the side of the train. I love the little weed whacker. Just cool. Oh yeah, and I turned on the wind turbines way up there on top. And I was trying to get there's a helicopter out there on the roof. I was trying to get a good clip of this crane moving around because it was like moving in circles, but I think I eventually do get a clip of it. Yeah. That thing was moving and dropping down. It was cool. There's a car wreck right there, and they about to tow the car. They got the police there. And they had people camping out up under the bridge near the little pond. Had people fixing the light right there by the railroad. This hot air balloon would go up and down if you press the button. And a girl doing a photo shoot. I guess she's a model. Had some kind of incident here. I don't know if a girl fell off her bike or something. Had a girl getting proposed to. It's kind of a weird place. Had these people park their little dune buggy under this bridge because they were rock climbing right here on the side of the mountain. Seems kind of dangerous, but now that bridge right there was actually pretty high up. They had people parachuting, jumping off the rocks, off the side of the cliff. Had people riding their little ATVs up the side of the mountain. And it just keeps going and going and going. But I think this is actually close to the end right here. And this crane right here on the end actually has two separate buttons. One moves it left and right and drops it, and the other one picks it up. Another cool detail. So a working crane. Alright. I'm done showing that place. That was pretty much the full walk through. I know this is a long video, but I do want to show you what I got real quick. I got this. I was gonna make a video about going in this toy store. That's a whole separate video, but I had some problems or whatever, so I'm just going to show you real quick what I got. I pretty much added a little bit to each one of my collections. So I got this, and all this stuff. It was pretty good price. I was like, I couldn't pass up the deal. So this is a Brody Lee tribute figure with him and his son from AEW. Really cool. I love the details on it. It's a great piece for a collection. And you should probably know by now I collect Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit figures, so I picked up this Prologue Bilbo, which I thought was pretty cool. And like I said, a lot of this stuff was pretty cheap, so really couldn't pass up the good deal, which I love these Lord of the Rings figures. They're really cool. And I've been talking about it for a while now, but I officially am starting my Walking Dead collection of these figures. Now, these are pretty much the only ones I want to collect, is these basic looking ones like this in the smaller boxes. And I got the Shane from Series 2, and I got the Michonne from Series 3. And this place that I got these from, man, they have so many of these. Like, I think I could eventually get all of them from there, because like they pretty much had most of these. But I'm trying to keep going back until I get all of these from every series. That's my goal, because these are really cool and I love these. But that's pretty much gonna do it for today. I'm not trying to talk too long because I know this is a long video. So make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.